Good morning. Come in. Take a seat. Master Nettles. The reason I've asked everyone here today is to explain the proper way of maintaining your tiled wax floors. We're going to go over a few things that you need to do to maintain those. Have you ever walked into a Walmart, your local grocery store, maybe your post office, you notice the floors are extremely shiny or extremely dirty? Here in the squadron, we like to keep ours looking fairly nice so that represents our squadron and shows people how we care. Alright. First off, I'd like to explain waxing. Once you've waxed the floor, you get the nice quality shine that you like, the way you want to keep it, then you just maintain it over a period of 6 months or so before you have to re-strip it and start over. If you sweep it, mop it on a weekly basis, you can take the white buffing pad, put it on your medium to high speed buffer. After you swept it, lightly mop it with just plain water. Take the buffing pad and the buffer and buff it out. As you're buffing, you come across a scratch, maybe a scuff, maybe a heel mark, or maybe someone dropped a little coat, coffee or something like that, and it makes it kind of dingy looking right there. If you would take the red pad, which is for medium to heavy scratches, you should be able to add a little water, buff that out, and once you can tell that the stain has been removed with the red pad, reinstall the white pad, apply a little bit of water, go back to buffing. Once you've buffed the whole area that you like, you may have to go back and touch up a couple spots here and there if you got a little blemish or whatnot. There's a misconception that every time you wax your floors you have to strip it. That's not true. With a good high quality wax, which I like the Albright products, it's a good hard coat wax, stays good and shiny for a good period of 2 weeks without even touching it. But if you do have to strip, there's two ways of doing that. The proper way, take your stripper, add it to your mop bucket full of water with a nice mop, and apply an even coat across the area that you'd like to strip. Now when you go to strip, you're not going to use the white or the red pad. You're going to use a black pad. Black pad is for stripping. It's very coarse, scrubs up everything. Basically what you're doing is when you apply the stripper to the water and then you mop it on the floor, that's basically going to take and turn the wax back into a semi-liquid form so that you can remove it from the floor and then mop it up afterwards. Once you've stripped the area that you need to strip, you're going to need to mop that repeatedly, probably 3-4 times, letting it dry in between to ensure that you've removed all the wax that you've scraped up, scrubbed up off of the floor. One of the ways you can tell if you need to strip your floors or not is if you have a light colored tile, once you apply wax, over a period of time that wax is going to get the dirt ground into it and it's going to turn to a brown or a yellow looking color. Therefore you would need to strip the wax off of the floor and reapply. And one of the ways to tell whether or not you've stripped it properly and mopped up all of your wax that you've scrubbed up is if it's nice dry floor, it should have a dullness about it because there's no wax there to make it shine. As you walk across that floor with the dullness, if you're leaving footprints, you haven't mopped up all of your residue from your stripped wax. So mop again and again until all that residue is gone. Now, I said there was two ways of applying the stripper. That's the proper way of applying the stripper. Adding it to the water, lightly mopping it on the area that you need to strip. Improper way of stripping that would just take the bucket and dump it on the floor. By dumping it on the floor, what you're doing is you're going to strip that area where you dumped it extremely, all the way down past the coating that's applied to the floor to keep it protection. So then you're not going to get an even strip. So add the stripper to the water in the bucket, mop it. Once you've stripped it, mopped it, you're ready to reapply your wax. You can dump the wax straight out on the floor. I prefer to put it in a clean mop bucket with a clean mop. That way you can regulate the amount of wax that you're putting down. So you put down nice thin coats of wax at first, allowing time to dry whatever it takes, whatever is recommended by the company of the wax that you're using. Keep applying the wax until you get the luster or the shine that you'd like. Is there any questions?